The subject, Mr. Tab, is about the size for the Montreal Canadiens. So I did an exercise, and then I want to show to you what it looked like. And you guys in the chat, you have to talk about what you think and what Montreal should do and what you have to do. Or it's not big deal. They have a fine and whatever. And during the time, guys, I'm going to go through the exercise. Mr. Tab is going to add his point view about that. So first of all, Mr. Tap, if you look about how tall they are, 6'1", they are 30 in NHL. These are the stats of 2024, 2025. On the flip side, Mr. Tap, they hit a lot of Big Mac. I don't know why, but they are big, Mr. Tap, and they are 201 pounds, and they are 6 in NHL for the upcoming season. Finally, Mr. Tap, the last one, and they are 26.32, and they are 29 in the standing at this moment with the roster they have. Now, it could change when you're going to get the 23 roster, Mr. Tap. That's give you an idea a little bit about the team if you think about this one over there. And then we'll give you a little bit, one more stat, Mr. Tap. There are 5 forward or 5 players, Mr. Tap, in the roster. They are 5'10 and lower, 5'9, 5'8, 5'7. 5 of them. Then there are 3 Montreal Canadiens in the roster. They are only 5'11. Put this together, Mr. Tap, there are 8 players below 6 foot. So that gives you a little bit more, Mr. Tap, what he look like. So what I did, Mr. Tap, I believe in NHL, they have 2 seasons. They have the regular season to make the playoff, and when the playoffs start, that's another situation, Mr. Tap. So what I did, guys, I look about all the winner of the Stanley Cup since 2010, and I make some kind of different categories. First of all, Mr. Tap, in 2010, Chicago Blackhawks win, and the number of the point, the highest point for the players was 88. The most goal for Chicago was 30. They have only one player have an average of 1 point per game. They have 2 players forward under 6 foot, 1 defenseman under 6 foot, and the goalie size was 6'2". 2011, Boston Bruins, 62 players point, 30 goal scorer, 0 player with 1 point per game, 3 player forward under 6 foot, 1 defenseman under 6 foot. And the goaltender, Mr. Tap, is the smallest one, 5'11". Who he was? Tim Thomas. The Kings get their first Stanley Cup, 76 points, the highest one, 25 goal, 0 player with 1 point per game, 1 player under 6 foot, 0 under defenseman, and the goaltender was Jonathan Quick at 6'1". And 2013, Chicago, second time they won the Stanley Cup, 55 point, 23 goals. 2 players have an average of 1 point per game. 2 players under 6 foot. Of course, Patrick Kane is one of them. 0 player under defenseman. And 2013, the goaltender was Corey Crawford. And 2010 was Naomi. The Kings repeat again with 70 points with the best scorer. 29 goals. 0 players, guys, with point per game. And they have 1 player defense forward under 6 foot. 0 defenseman. 6'1", the goaltender. Chicago repeat again, guys, 68-28. I said 11, but it's 4 on the forward under 6 foot. Andrew Shaw, remember that one. 6'2", the goaltender, Corey Crawford. And the defensemen have 1 defenseman under 6 foot. 2016, 2017, Pittsburgh back-to-back, guys, 85 points and 89 points. Crosby never reached the 100. 44 goals, 36 goals. They have 1 player with average 1 point per game. And then they have 5 players. This is a mistake, guys. Is 1 point per game average by the Pittsburgh Penguins. 5 players under forward, guys, under 6 foot. 7 of them, Mr. Top, before that. This is the highest number. And the defensive are only 1 under 6 foot. And the goaltender, Mr. Tap, 6'5" with Matt Murray. And then the 6th year, it was Fleury for that. Washington Capitals, Mr. Tap, 87 points. Ovechkin, 49 goals. 2 players with an average 1 point per game. 0 under the forward. 1 by the defenseman. And the 6'1" goaltender, Oldby. Finally, guys, the last 6 years, St. Louis Blues won a 77 point, 33 goal. 0 player with an average per game. 1 player under 6 foot forward. 0 defenseman. The goaltender, Bennington, at 6'2". Tampa Bay did it back-to-back. 85 points, 75 points. 48 goal, 33 goal. 2 players per an average per point per game. 5 players on top with under 6 foot forward. We talk about Yannick Tyler Johnson, Brandon Point, were three of them. And they have the goaltender Vasilevsky at 6'4". Colorado did it with 92 points, 36 goals, 4 players with 1 point per game, 1 forward under 6 foot. This is the only team in the last 15 seasons winners Stanley Cup have 2 defensemen under 6 foot, Kel McCarr and Samuel Girard. And then the goaltender was Darcy Quamper at 6'5". Vegas did it at 66 point, equal 28 goals, 0 player with 1 point per game, 1 forward under 6 foot. But he was the MVP, Jonathan Marchessault. 0 defenseman at the 6'6" goaltender, Adam Hill. You can add a 6'3" Logan Thompson or Laurent Brossoit if you go that direction. But all of them are 6'2" and plus. Finally, Florida did it with 94 points, the highest number. Barkov, 57 goals. This is the only players have 50 goal plus, Mr. Enortap, Sam Reinhart. We have 3 players with 1 point per game average, 2 players under 6 foot, but there are 2. They have a big impact, Lombard and Nick Cousin. They have 0 defensemen under 6 foot, and the goaltender, Bobrovsky, is at 6'2", Mr. Enortap. You got it, Mr. Enortap. You have everything. If I resume this, guys, and after that, we're going to talk about this for the Montreal Canadiens. First of all, you don't need 100 points any player per season, by the season. No one of them win the Stanley Cup with 100 points, Mr. Enortap. The only team have a 50 goal scorer, Mr. Enortap, is 57. Last year, Reinhart. Mm-hmm. The closest one is 49 with Ovechkin. Finally, Mr. Enortap, the forward size, something did it. The team, they have 5 players, are really skilled. And they have players like Malkin, Crosby, and you can look about Kucherov and Senko. They are friends compared to any other team where they are only 1 great forward. The rest are only 1 player under 6 foot or 0. Then the defenseman, Mr. Enortap, it's all about size. They have to be over 6 foot. Colorado did it with McCarr, is an exception. And the goaltender, Mr. Enortap, nobody under 6'2", 2 happening, Thomas and Oldby. The rest is 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". You need size between the pipe. This guy, Mr. Enortap, is another view of what it looked like a Stanley Cup winner. If you make the playoff to win the Cup, that's what you need. The good news for the Montreal Canadiens, they have only Hudson, Caulfield at long term. The rest going to be out. RHP, Barry Goulet, Gallagher. If you follow this, Mr. Enortap, another good news, the pipeline have good size. If you look about what they dropped, 6'1" Dimitrov, Michael Edge, another 6 foot, Jekai, example, a 6'4", and you have many players they have, and they are big on the size. And they don't have a lot of 5 now. Before that, the time Marc Bergevin, the end, Sean Farrell, example, Montreal select Philippe Mazar, 5'10", but after that, they build more bigger and bigger and bigger. Angstrom, Thorpe, Trotz last year, Cuevo at 6 foot, Fuller is a 6'2" minimum. The Montreal Canadiens need size at all positions, more as a winger center. Defenseman without Lane Hudson, the rest is big. So they are big on the defenseman, and the draft they select, they are also big. That's the good news. But also they need grits. That's what they're looking for, is to need grits as a forward, center, winger. My final word, Mr. Enortap, patience is the key, Mr. Enortap.
Well, there's some good comments that are flashing up in the chat, so that's good to see. And it's generating an obviously good conversation, and that's what this is all about. But first of all, now I understand, Coach, why you took the day off yesterday. After putting all of this together, that's a lot of data retrieval. And, I mean, a lot of things there don't surprise me. I'll start off with the fact that you raised the question that there's 2 seasons, right? There's the regular season, and then there's the playoffs. I think in the playoffs, things are very, very much tighter. You don't get as much ice time, or not ice time, but space on the ice to move around. And it's usually, there's a lot more hitting. There's a lot more special teams that come into effect. And so that's really where you want to see some of the size come into play. But having said that, size is not only measured by the height and the weight. It's about the collectiveness of the team in terms of what they can do and what they can bring together as team grit, and what they can offer, like standing up for each other, and having the willingness to dig pucks out in the corner, hitting, all the things that are necessary, the intangibles that we talk about, and that's needed. And for me, the biggest thing, and it came out loud and clear in the data that you presented, and I think Montreal's modeled this, is the size on defense once you get into the playoffs. So you look at Montreal's defense, like, I mean, just starting with what you have right now, you have Goulet that's at 6'3", you have Jack Eye that's 6'4", Justin Barron 6'2", Matheson 6'2", Mayu that's 6'4", or 6'3", sorry, and I mean Ryan Bacher. You can go down the list, and if you notice what they drafted over the last 2 years, you'll only see, I think, 2 players in the multiple picks that they've had. I think over 23, 24 picks that they've had in 2 years that were under 6 feet. So there is something to say about size. Of course there is. But I think where it's most important is in front of the net, because these are the guys that are going to help out the goalie. They're going to prevent second shots. They're going to prevent those collisions in front of the net. They're going to make it hard for opposing talented players to really cycle the puck and create the flow of the game. They're there to disrupt. They're there to ensure that they carry the puck out and get every opportunity that they can available to them. So I think you hit on all the key facts there. To me, goaltending, of course, you want hopefully somebody in there that has very good size, that can cover most of the net. But I think talent is more important than necessarily size. Could still be 6 foot and be an excellent goaltender. I mean, look at somebody like Saros in Nashville, right? They can obviously help out in that regards. To me, it's that team toughness that's more important, and having a large defensive core that will sort of complement. And we saw when we went on that run 3 years ago, 4 years ago, whenever it was, to the finals against Tampa Bay, it was really the top 4 defensemen, that big bruising players that made their presence known to the opposition. And, I would have liked to have seen them get through the playoffs fully healthy. We had a lot of injuries. But that's no excuse. I mean, Tampa Bay was an excellent team, so no harm in having lost to them. But I would have liked to seen if they were all 100% healthy, how that series would have gone. It wouldn't have gone 5 games. I can guarantee you it would have gone the full distance.
Thank you to watching another Habs Nation video. But before we leave, we invite you, don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the channel, and finally let us a comment about this video. And remember, you have greatness inside of you, and we wishes you an amazing, great, and blessing day.